You make me so proud, my child. Yes, you make me so proud. And your recent action has made me more proud. I watched you in that moment, not from afar, but close. Closer than the breath in your lungs, closer than the thoughts that passed through your mind. I was there, not merely as a witness, but as the strength beneath your resolve, the light behind your decision. You chose what was right, even when it was hard, even when the easier path whispered your name. And in that choice I saw a reflection of my own heart within yours. Do you know what that means to me? That you, my beloved, walked in courage, in love, in integrity, yes, even when no one else was looking. You saw the crossroads and chose the path of light, the higher road, and though your feet trembled, you walked. You could have stayed silent, but you spoke. You could have turned away, but you remained. You could have doubted yourself, but you trusted me. That is faith in motion, love in motion. That is the kind of obedience that moves mountains in the unseen, that stirs heaven, that fills my heart with joy. You have no idea how deeply I cherish you, not just for what you've done, but for who you are. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I dreamed of you. I crafted every fiber of your being, every detail, every nuance. There is not a single corner of your soul that I do not delight in. You are my design, my art, my joy. And now you are also my reflection in a world that longs for me. Do you understand what that means? When you extend kindness, you extend me. When you forgive, you release heaven into the earth. When you speak truth wrapped in grace, the very atmosphere shifts. You are not just living a life, I have made you a living message. And you have chosen to echo my heart. That is no small thing. It changes things. It heals things. It transforms things that others thought were too broken. And because of that, I am proud. Not with the pride of man, but with the love of a father who sees his child walking in purpose. Even when you think your actions are small, they are not. Even the quietest obedience rings like thunder in the heavens. The way you loved when it wasn't returned, the way you gave when you had little, the way you hoped when everything in the world said to quit, that is power. That is what it means to walk with me. And you've done it. Even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. You didn't see what I saw in that moment. You didn't see the chains that broke, the hearts that softened, the ripple effect of love that went beyond your eyes. But I saw it. I see it all. Every time you choose me, every time you listen to the whisper of my spirit instead of the roar of fear, you declare something louder than words. You are mine. You are not invisible to me. Not one tear has fallen that I have not caught. Not one sigh has risen that I have not felt. You think you are unseen, uncelebrated, but in my kingdom every act of love is eternal. I do not forget. I do not overlook. And today I tell you with a full heart, I am proud of you. There are many who claim to walk with me, but you have walked when it was costly. You have chosen to grow even when pruning hurt. You have not only heard my voice, but you have heeded it. This is the kind of faith that delights me. Not loud, not flashy, but real, honest, grounded in love. It is the kind that changes the world. Do you know what else I see in you? Potential. Yes, but more than that. Promise. My promise. I have placed seeds inside you that have not yet bloomed, and yet you've been faithful in the waiting. That patience, Oh, my child, that is worship. When you trust me even in silence, even when you don't understand, it tells me you believe in who I am more than what I do. And I count that as precious. You think sometimes that you don't measure up, that you falter, that you are not enough, but I want you to hear this clearly. You are not a disappointment to me. You never have been. I see the entirety of you, the moments you get it right, and the ones when you stumble. And still, my declaration over you remains: I am proud of you. I love you. I am with you. There will be more moments ahead, moments where you'll be tempted to wonder if I'm still near, if I still care, if your efforts matter. When that time comes, remember this truth. I have already seen the road ahead, and I am walking it with you. Your battles are not yours alone. Your questions do not scare me. Your weakness does not repel me. If anything, your honesty draws me even closer. I made you with both strength and softness, with fire and tenderness, and I call all of it good. This world will try to define you by your flaws, your failures, your fears, but I do not call you by your mistakes. I call you by your name, and your name is mine. You are my child, my beloved, my chosen, my masterpiece. When others see brokenness, I see beauty being born. When others see delay, I see development. And when you feel like nothing is happening, I am working behind the scenes in ways you can't yet imagine. Even now, I am preparing things for you: opportunities, connections, healing, restoration. Some of it will come in ways you expect, and much of it won't. But all of it will come through my love for you. I will never stop shaping you. I will never stop walking with you. And I will never stop being proud of who you are becoming. Do not despise your process. I am using every season, every detour, every closed door. Nothing is wasted with me. Nothing. I redeem everything, yes, even the things you wish had never happened. I will use them. I will weave them into a greater story. One day you will look back and see how all the pieces fit. And in that day you will know what I've known all along, that you were always in my hands. The world may not always understand you, but I do. The world may not always affirm you, but I already have. My affirmation is not based on performance, it is based on love. Eternal, unshakable, covenant love. You don't have to earn it. You just have to receive it. Let it sink in. Let it define you. Let it give you rest. I know sometimes your heart gets weary. I know sometimes you wish things were different, easier, faster. But I'm not in a hurry with you. I am patient. I am kind. I am full of mercy. And I'm not going anywhere. Even in the places where you think you've failed me, I see the effort, the longing, the heart behind it. And I say again, I am proud of you. Keep going, even when it's quiet. Keep loving, even when it's hard. Keep believing, even when the evidence feels thin. You are not walking blind, you are walking in faith. And faith pleases me more than you know. Each step you take with me is a declaration to the world that love still wins, that hope is alive, that light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. I am not asking you to be perfect. I never have. I only ask you to be willing to keep coming, keep trusting, keep surrendering. And you have. You do. That's what makes you so precious to me. It's not the outward appearance. It's not the accolades. It's your heart. A heart that longs for me, that leans toward me, even when it doesn't have all the answers. That is rare. That is sacred. That is holy. And so I say it again, and I will keep saying it. You make me proud. You make me rejoice. You are a reason for celebration in heaven. I am not ashamed of you. I do not regret creating you. I do not love a future version of you more than I love you now. I love you fully right here, right now. And I am committed to you forever. My child, lift your head. You carry the mark of heaven on your life. You are not ordinary. You are set apart, not for status or applause, but for purpose, or for impact. For me, you are an answer to someone's prayer. You are a light in someone's darkness. You are a vessel of my love in a world that's starving for it. And every time you show up with compassion, with truth, with grace, you bring me glory. So don't let fear rob you of your voice. Don't let shame rob you of your worth. Don't let the opinions of others define what I have already settled in eternity. I have called you mine. I have chosen you. I have equipped you. And I will finish the good work I've started in you. Nothing can separate you from my love, not your past, not your doubts, not even your struggles. I am bigger than all of it. And I will use even those very things to draw you closer, to make you stronger, to reveal my glory through your life. My child, certain things make me impressed. When you choose love over hate, even when hatred feels easier, when your heart aches, but you forgive anyway, I see it. When the world shouts for vengeance and your voice whispers mercy, I am there in that whisper. You move me when you choose kindness without reward, when no one is watching but you still reach out your hand to lift the fallen. These moments, though small in your eyes, shake the heavens with their weight. I am moved when you walk in integrity, especially when deceit would profit more. When you take the longer road simply because it is righteous, I walk beside you. You may not always feel my presence in those moments, but I am closer than your breath. You impress me when you choose the light in a world that celebrates shadows. When you say no to what dishonors me, even when that no costs you comfort, popularity, or wealth, I take notice. My eyes search the earth not for the strongest, but for the faithful. It is your consistency and goodness, not perfection, that draws my gaze. I see you when you fall but refuse to stay down. When you rise again, bruised but determined to walk with me, the angels rejoice. Do you know how heaven watches you with bated breath each time your soul is tempted, hoping you choose life? When you tremble with doubt, yet still take the next step of trust, you glorify me more than 1,000 songs sung from lips, but not from hearts. When you come to me, not with answers, but with questions, not with pride, but with surrender that stirs me, I am not repelled by your confusion. I am not threatened by your sorrow. I am impressed when you seek me anyway, when you wrestle with the silence and still return with the prayer, not my will but yours. There is no act more courageous than faith held in trembling hands. I watch how you love. Love, my child, is not the grand gesture the world applauds, but the quiet service no one records. When you bear another's burden silently, when you give out of your lack, when you choose to see the person no one sees, I see you. Every unseen sacrifice is recorded in eternity. You are not forgotten. You are never overlooked by me. My heart is stirred when you honor others, even when they dishonor you. When you speak life into those who have cursed you, you reflect me. You impress me when you listen instead of condemn, when you withhold judgment and offer grace. That is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. When you give grace, you give me room to work. You become my vessel in the world. And, oh my child, how deeply I am moved by your worship, not only in songs but in obedience. You worship me when you choose my ways over your impulses. When you turn from what corrupts your soul and walk toward the light, you declare my worth. Worship is more than melodies, it is the song of your life. Every act of trust, every moment you say yes to me, becomes a note in a divine symphony that heaven never tires of hearing. I am impressed when you steward what I give you, not for your glory but for mine. Whether it is your time, your talents, your finances, your influence, when you use them to lift others, to build, to heal, to bless, my image shines more clearly through you. You reflect me when you create beauty from brokenness, when you bring order to chaos, when you plant hope where despair once reigned. You move me when you refuse to let bitterness take root. When life wounds you and yet you keep your heart soft, that is divine. Bitterness is the poison that corrodes destiny, but forgiveness is the balm that unlocks resurrection. I am not impressed by your ability to win arguments, but by your willingness to keep loving despite them. You win with heaven when you lose with grace. When you are alone, misunderstood, forgotten by others, yet you still choose me, that impresses me. When you think no one sees your pain, I see it all. I gather every tear, none fall without my knowing. I do not measure greatness by what the world esteems. To me, greatness is faithfulness in secret. It is the mother who prays over her children in the quiet night. It is the worker who labors with excellence though no one notices. It is the broken heart that keeps loving, the weary soul that keeps walking. My child, I am impressed by your repentance. Not because you are perfect, but because you return. When you humble yourself and ask for my forgiveness, when you admit your need, those are the moments I run toward you. I never turn away a contrite heart. I am not seeking the flawless, but the yielded. The world exalts strength and self-reliance, but I am drawn to those who know their weakness and bring it to me. That is where my power flows most freely. I see you when you protect the innocent, when you advocate for the voiceless, when you use your strength not to dominate but to shield. You mirror the heart of your Father. When you speak truth in love, even when your voice shakes, you build my kingdom. My child, your courage does not need to be loud. Even whispered bravery echoes in eternity. I rejoice when you choose joy in suffering. When life breaks your plans and you still praise me, the heavens stand in awe. Do not think your struggle goes unnoticed. Every time you choose joy, you defy the darkness. That impresses me far more than worldly success or applause. Joy in affliction is the fragrance of heaven on earth. I am not moved by performances or pretense. I see the heart. I see the motives behind every action, the thoughts behind every word. What impresses me is not outward perfection, but inward truth. A heart that desires me, even when it stumbles, is more precious to me than 1,000 sacrifices. I want you, not your show, not your striving. I want your love. I delight when you choose stillness in a world that never stops. When you make room to hear my voice amidst the noise. When you quiet your soul to listen, I speak. I never shout over your distractions, but I always whisper to your spirit. When you value my presence more than your performance, when you sit at my feet instead of rushing to impress others, you touch my heart. I am impressed when you love me not for what I can give, but for who I am. When you worship me in the drought, when you sing in the prison, when you trust me with unanswered prayers, that is the deepest form of love. You show me you want me, not merely my blessings. That is the kind of love that transforms nations. My child, I am moved when you carry hope in hopeless places. When your surroundings scream despair and you speak light anyway, you partner with heaven. Hope is not naive, it is divine defiance. When you believe for more, when you pray against all odds, when you plant seeds in barren soil, I am pleased. That is the faith that moves mountains. You impress me when you wait well. Waiting is not a punishment. It is a sacred space where trust grows. When you wait with expectancy and not resentment, when you praise even when the promise is delayed, you bring glory to my name. I have not forgotten you. Every waiting season has a purpose, and your endurance writes history in heaven. I see the times you choose truth over convenience. When you stand for what is right, not because it is easy but because it honors me, I smile. Even when no one stands with you, I do. I will never leave you to fight alone. Your integrity is a banner that declares my faithfulness to the world. I am touched when you invite me into your pain instead of hiding it. I never asked you to carry sorrow alone. I weep with you. I bleed with you. I bear your burdens as my own. When you let me into your broken places, you give me the space to bring resurrection. Death is not the end when I am present. I am the God who brings beauty from ashes. I notice when you are generous, not from abundance, but from compassion. When you give not because you have to, but because you want to, you resemble me. Every act of generosity is a reflection of my heart. I am the giver of every good and perfect gift, and when you give in love, you multiply heaven on earth. My child, you move me when you raise others instead of competing with them. When you celebrate someone else's success, when you honor their calling, you show me your maturity. There is no rivalry in my kingdom. When you realize that my love is not scarce, that there is enough for all, you begin to live free, and that freedom impresses me. I am delighted when you teach your children to know me. When you pour your faith into the next generation, you build legacy. You may never see the fullness of what you plant, but I do. Every bedtime prayer, every Bible story told, every question answered with patience, you are sowing seeds that will outlive you. That impresses me beyond measure. I am impressed when you live with eternity in mind. When you invest in what lasts beyond this world, when you choose the eternal over the temporary, you walk in wisdom. This life is a vapor, but the choices you make here echo forever. You are not just living for now, you are shaping forever. Even in your weaknesses, I am impressed when you come to me. When shame tells you to hide and you run to me instead, you defeat the enemy. The greatest victories often look like surrender. When you say, I can't, but you can, you align your heart with heaven. My grace is made perfect in weakness, not strength. My child, you are not forgotten. You are not insignificant. You are my masterpiece, and I delight in you. I am impressed not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. And every time you choose me over fear, over pride, over comfort, over compromise, you move my heart again. I have seen every moment of faith, every tear of surrender, every quiet act of obedience. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is unseen. And when the world does not applaud you, remember, all of heaven already has. I am with you, I am for you, and I rejoice over you with singing. Keep walking, child. Keep trusting. Keep loving. You impress me more than you know. Amen.